student.
And I'm Mara. And today on 60 Minutes we'll be discussing the Roaring '20s.
Excuse me, miss, can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
So how do you feel about the mass waves of immigrants coming into the city?
Well, streets are busier and the markets are pretty crowded, but I don't notice that much.
Well, do you think due to the higher demands?
You know, I haven't thought in depth about it. I tend to live in the moment, if you know what I mean.
Well, thank you for answering a few questions. Have a nice day.
Today I'm here with Judith Bismarck to talk about prohibition. What union are you from?
I am from the Women's Christian Temperance Union, where we believe drinking is a sin.
Could you please explain to us what prohibition exactly is?
Prohibition is when you forbid something. In this case, we want to ban alcohol.
Why does your group believe drinking is a sin?
We believe that alcohol is a cause of corruption, and it leads to things such as wife and child abuse. It leads to crime, and there has been more accidents on the jobs.
What have you accomplished to push prohibition so far?
We have pushed for alcohol laws, and we have made an educational campaign where we go and talk about alcohol to all the schools in the nation.
What kind of people make up your group?
We are made up of all kinds of different, from Christian women, from wives who are struggling, and struggling mothers.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bismarck.
Thank you.
Now a word from our sponsors.
Are your kids good at lying?
Or even your significant other?
Then this is the product for you. This new machine can sense a person is lying or not, testing their breathing rate, pulse, blood pressure, and perspiration using only 6 probes.
Simple questions will be asked by the questioner to begin, then the real questions start. Is a cow a bird?
No.
Is the sky blue?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, did you kill your wife?
No. As you could see there, the polygraph will test the lying tactics, and it will spike or dip on the lines graphed to show whether they are lying or not.
A polygraph or lie detector is easy to read, and it helps you get to the bottom of things.
Back to the show.
I would like to introduce you to Al Capone. So, Scarface, what was it like for your business in the Prohibition era?
Well, my lawyer advises me it's not a good idea. But it may or may not have been what you could call a booming time for bootlegging. I'm not saying I've ever taken part in this heinous crime, but I've heard about this one handsome man making millions at this time.
How did you come into all this money?
Next.
Come on, Scarface.
You know, I hate when people call me that name. Hey, I'm not saying, if you keep saying that on this here camera, we'll have to step outside for a nice long talk.
Hey, we have to do that now.
Alright then. Then I suggest you call me by the name my dear mother gave me. And it ain't none of your business to be making assumptions about how I got my money. I've worked hard my entire life. Ask anyone, and if they say otherwise, I'll have a talk with them and show them the truth.
What is the problem with organized crime? Why is there so much of it these days? Now, shop owners are always looking over their shoulders, scared they'll be robbed, or have a prostitute on the corner scaring away their business.
Well, all I know is you don't want to be in debt to nobody. There's all these big bosses out here that will bring you 2 feet from heaven's door. I've seen a nice, happy man gamble away $500 I lent him. He ain't come around here no more.
Today we will be talking with Marlene, a college schoolgirl at IUP, about speakeasies. Now, how do you get into these so-called speakeasies?
I'm not really allowed to give out that information.
Oh, come on. Just something.
Okay, well, there's passwords.
That makes sense. Now, who's all involved? Who goes to these speakeasies and who's just in attendance?
Well, I can't give out names, but it's mostly middle-class people.
So where do you usually attend these secret speakeasies?
Well, there's one in my boyfriend's office building's basement, but there's some other ones in random places that I go to with my friends.
Thank you for coming in and answering some questions, Marlene.
You're welcome.
We'll be back in an instant.
Somebody's here to see you.
Send them in, please.
Hello, ma'am. I'd like to speak to you about a product that just hit the market.
Go on, but I don't have much time.
You're a newspaper company that could grow even better than it is now. Do you know how I could do that?
This is a waste of my time. I have a meeting to get to.
No, wait. Imagine a camera that you can bring with you to take pictures and instantly get them. This camera can provide a physical picture in about 10 seconds. It can revolutionize the world.
Did you create this product?
No, but the great Sam Schwalfrock is the creator.
Okay, I'll think about it. Thank you for letting me interview you. Would you mind if I take your picture?
Won't that take a long time?
Not with my instant camera. Thank you for letting me take your picture.
No problem. Have a nice day.
You too.
Now back to the show.
Today we are here with Mr. Clarence Barrow, who is a lawyer and is here to talk with us about the Scopes trial. Mr. Clarence, did the fact that Judge Ralston moved the trial outside due to the thousands of people bother you?
No, it didn't really bother me. I'm more used to larger courtrooms in the first place, but moving outside wasn't really a big issue at all.
Did you enjoy having Arthur Garfield and Dudley Malone on your defense team?
Yeah, I enjoyed my time spending with them, working with the defense team and everything. Arthur stepped up to the plate when need be, threw out some questions out there towards the prosecution, and Malone worked more behind the scenes, so it was a great team.
How did you feel when you lost the trial?
I was actually pretty shocked. I thought I had it in the bag based upon the education versus religion and scientific. Mr. Scopes, he was on trial because of Darwin's evolution theory versus the biblical religion of learning and science. And I thought, well, religion's pretty popular still. I thought I had this one outdone, but apparently not.
The media says you outshone Brian. Do you feel like you did that?
Brian was a good contender, great prosecution, could answer the questions I threw at him very easily, but I feel like the media is right on that one.
Well, thank you, Mr. Clarence.
Well, thank you.
So, for a recap, to talk about urban scenes, that's basically just an influx of immigrants moving into the city, and whether citizens recognize that it will impact them in the future or not, it definitely will have some effect.
So I would like to thank the Women's Temperance Union for sending out a representative to talk about prohibition and how they think that it's the way for moral society to be. Good.
Speaking of prohibition, bootleggers, they are illegal. They sell alcohol illegally, which completely goes against what the Christian Women's Temperance Union is speaking for. But speaking of crime,
Al Capone was so nicely to come in and speak with us about organized crime, which was basically gangs getting together, planning something, and then going with it and making tons and tons of money. Also with that, speaking about prohibition, there were speakeasies, and those were basically parties that would have alcohol and things that were also illegal, and that was it.
and to finish up, science versus religion, that major clash in the 20s, religion definitely took the win on that one in the Scopes trial. And a big thank you for Clarence Barrow for coming in to talk to us about basically this Scopes trial. So thank you.
I'm
And I'm Gabby, and thank you for watching 60 Minutes.